Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on solving inequalities and graphing inequalities because we didn't have very much time in class. If you want to be awesome, you can take a snippet of these slides and try to do it on your own and then check your work with the video. Solving inequalities is very, very similar to solving equations. The only thing that we need to be careful of is if we see our variable being multiplied or divided by a negative number, then our symbol will flip. Okay, so that's what we're going to look out for when we're solving these inequalities. Otherwise, it's the same as solving equations. We're going to use inverse operations to get the variable by itself. So right now I see what's happening to my variable. It's being multiplied times 2. The opposite of multiplication is division. So to get rid of this 2, I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm writing divide by 2 this way because a fraction means division. And then when I solve this, I'm not dividing or multiplying by a negative number, so my symbol is going to stay the same, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. X is greater than 4, so I'm going to put an open point on 4, because it can't be 4, it has to be larger than 4, and all the numbers that are larger than 4 are over here on the right. Here's my next problem. I'm going to circle my variable. This time I see my variable x is being multiplied by a negative 3. Now this is our rule. If we're being multiplied or divided by a negative number, our sign is going to flip. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my sign down here so I don't have to worry about forgetting to flip my sign. This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. I'm using inverse operations to solve. I cross out this negative 3 to tell myself that I've already done the inverse operation. Negative 15 divided by a negative 3 is a positive 5. So x is greater than 5. Open point, because it can't be 5, and it's going to the right because those are all the numbers that are larger than 5. Negative 30 is greater or equal to 5y. This time my variable is on the right side, but that's okay. I'll show you what we can do with that. My variable is being multiplied times 5. That's no problem. I don't have to flip my symbol. Opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 5. Symbol stays the same. Negative 30 divided by 5, a positive 5 is going to be a negative 6. Okay, so from right here, when you are graphing your inequality, we want to graph our inequalities in terms of our variable y. So you can either be very careful when you're reading this. If negative 6 is greater than or equal to y, we can go ahead and put a close point on negative 6. What does that mean for y? If negative 6 is larger, that must mean y is smaller. So we're looking at all the numbers that are smaller than negative 6. So we can also rewrite this as y is less than or equal to negative 6 because they have the same meaning. Our symbol is always going to be opened up towards the same number. So when I write him with the variable first, the negative 6 is still larger. You can see the symbol still eats the negative 6, symbol still eats the negative 6. So these two have the same meaning. Okay? Another way, here's another example. For example, 2 is less than 5. If I rewrote this, 2 is less than 5. Another way I can write it is 5 is greater than 2. They have the same meaning, but you need to pay attention to your sign. Okay? Make sure you keep the sign facing the same number if you rewrite it. Y divided by a negative 5 is less than or equal to 2. Okay, being divided by a negative number, so this will cause my symbol to flip. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it here so I don't forget. The opposite of division is multiplication. So instead of divide by negative 5, to get rid of that, I'm going to multiply times a negative 5. So I end up with y is greater than or equal to 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. I'm going to put a close point on negative 10 because it can be negative 10. You see that line down there? All the numbers that are bigger than negative 10 are on the right side of the number line. x divided by 4, remember fraction is division, is greater than 2. The opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply times 4. X is greater than 8. I'm not going to change the sign because I didn't multiply or divide by a negative number. And I don't have to flip it because my variable is already first. X is greater than 8. Open point on 8. All the numbers greater than 8 are to the right. One is greater than or equal to x. My x is on the right, but I'm going to worry about that later. X is being divided by a negative 9, so my symbol is going to flip. Go ahead and rewrite that so I don't forget. Opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply times negative 9. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. It's less than or equal to x. I'm going to rewrite this so that my variable is first. This is the same thing as x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Okay, my symbol's eating the x. It's still going to be eating the x. It means the same thing. If negative 9 is smaller than or equal to x, then x must be greater than or equal to negative 9. It's going to be a closed point because it can be negative 9 that has that line, and all the numbers that are larger than negative 9 are to the right. Last problem. X divided by 4. Opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply times 4. I'm going to put parentheses around this negative 2 so it doesn't look like 4 minus 2. It's 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. It's greater than x. Our symbol didn't flip because I didn't divide by a negative number, but I will rewrite this so that my variable is first. If negative x is greater than x, if negative 8 is greater than x, then x must be less than negative 8. These two things mean the same thing. I just wanted to rewrite it so that my variable is first. Or if you're really good about reading and understanding the inequality, you don't have to rewrite it. Just know that if negative 8 is greater than x, x must be smaller than negative 8. Open point on negative 8, all the numbers smaller than it. Thanks for watching.